Well, something different for you guys. We are in Menno, South Dakota, super small town. And we might be ceramic coating this. I'm not sure yet, but we are definitely tinting the windows on this. So this tractor specifically is gonna get 35% on the sides, a 5% strip on the top, and 15 on the back window. Let's get started. This is a Fendt Rogator 934H. So to start this thing off with, we're gonna remove this door, the back window, and the right-hand side, sitting in the cab right-hand side. So to pull these off, we will pop the cylinder. There's 4 Torx bolts there. On the back one, there's a Torx there, up in that corner. And then it does have a lockout here on the bottom. And for this right-hand side, it does have fake hinges here. These are not actually hinges at all. Pop these 4 bolts off, and then there is one holder there, another one there, and then 2 on the bottom that hold this window in. We'll pop that off, bring it down, and tint it down on the ground. So, but yeah, and we're gonna do a 5% strip here, probably about, oh, that's actually crazy. I've never in my life seen an AS1 line on a piece of farm equipment. So like that's on cars and stuff like that for like your legal, how far you could drop down. I've never actually seen that before on a piece of equipment. That's pretty cool. Granted, this tractor is brand new. I doubt it's got more than 15 hours on it. They just took delivery of it. I mean, the plastic's still on the seat here and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, so this is gonna be fun to tint. I did 2 of these for these guys here probably a few months ago. This right-hand side one did give me a little bit of a run for my money, but I think I have an idea on how to mitigate it and get it even better, because the way this right-hand side works is that this curves so hard from here over. It takes just a giant curve over, but yeah, shouldn't have that problem this time. Should be able to get it in one piece versus last time I had to seam it, which looked great. You wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at it. But basically on this hydraulic cylinder, popped off this retainer clip, and now this thing should just, yep, just pops off like that. Oh yeah, that won't go on back on too bad. And then I believe these are T45. Yep, there we go. So now we're just gonna undo these 4 bolts and pop her down. Okay, and then to start, we remove this rubber gasket, and then we're gonna remove all this door hardware off as well. I'm not gonna bore you guys here with the sizes. Okay, so now that we have all the hardware taken off here, gonna go just sprayed it all down, wiped it off with a towel to remove a good bulk of the dirt, dust that's on the surface, and now I will go through it with a blue Scotch-Brite pad. I'll scrub it all down here. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to do a process known as dry shrinking. So this this window has a curvature to it that I need to account for in the film. And the way I do that is by taking the film itself and I shrink it to the curvature of the window. Now, window tint only has one way you can shrink it. So it can be hard at times because you just want to like send it in multiple different directions. But once you kind of get the hang of it, and you learn how to read the film, it's actually not too bad. So now that this dryer sheet is on here, all this does is basically leave an oily substance for the film to float over the top of. And once this fully dries, we will unroll the film onto here.
You just gotta pull.
Go to the Okay, so now as you can see here, the film is laid out on the window. These are those fingers that I gotta shrink out. So what I'm gonna do is halfway cut this in half here, like this. And then I will take a damp towel here and lock in one half and the other. Just like so. Okay, because I can't shrink the film on this side or that side, I have to bring them down and around like so. So now I'll go ahead and get my heat gun set up and everything else, and we will start shrinking. Okay, so as you see, the window is now all shrunk up. Obviously I have just a little bit of curling here from the film, just bunched up right there and whatnot, but now I'm gonna cut out the general shape of it, and then we're probably gonna slap the film on the window on our film holder and get going. Okay, so now this window is in this holder. It's inverted, so we don't have to worry about dirt and dust as compared to just putting the tint on, you know, flat on the ground and letting all the dirt and contaminants here in the air float onto the surface. And then we went through, scrubbed it all up, and now we're just gonna squeegee all this away. Okay, so now the film is on. We got, I'd say 80% of the water out. Now we're just gonna go through and do our final press. Okay, and just like that, this window is tinted. Got the back one all done, the door done. Now we're on to the right hand side. Now the reason why this one is such a pain in the butt is because if you look here, this window drops dramatically right here. So the last one I did, I put my line right here, my center, that I split it, and then I actually two-pieced it right here. What I'm gonna do this time is come in right about here somewhere, I think, and try to get less film over here and shove it over there, because that side went by so easy on the last one, and then I'm trying to attempt this here. So, well, we were supposed to be on the road in Menno ceramic coating this dry spreader, but it's here now. So what this is a brand new, less than 40 hours on it, Fendt Rogator 934H that we are fully ceramic coating. I tinted the windows here last week and offered to ceramic coat this and turn this whole deal with a corporation, because this is for a local co-op, not a farmer. And yeah, so now we're working on it. But as you can see here, lots of little intricate areas. Not as much as what would be on like a sprayer per se. Ripped off those two panels on each side, covering up these wheels, because we're going to ceramic coat the back sides and all of these fittings and stuff like that. And then we're going to ceramic coat everything painted here, all these tanks, and then on the underside, because this is a dry spreader and this is the conveyor belt that holds, or that brings the fertilizer down and back around, or I guess it goes that way and then comes back on the underside here. And so that fertilizer could sometimes stick onto this, drop down, sit here, corrode it, and it's not going to be very good after just one season. There was a little bit of fertilizer already on here that I pressure washed out. That was from them calibrating it, not a big deal. So we're going to go through and clean up, prep, and coat every inch of this. The only thing that's not going to be coated are these hydraulic lines, these rubber bushings, the tires, and the oil filters and stuff like that in the airbags. So pretty much everything else on this thing though is going to get done. So I'm going to go ahead and try to bring you guys along with it. Matt is prepping this side. He went through, polished up the wheels and the hubs and prepped those. He's going to coat those here in a little bit. Otherwise he's going to work on that green. I'm going to work on the glass, the cab, the hood, all this front frame rail stuff. And I just want to show you, again, this machine only has, I doubt it's got over 50 hours on it. I could check, but look at the difference in the finish on the hood here. So if you look at those lights, see how they're kind of, they have that halo around them almost, versus here. And again, brand new machine. That's just from it sitting around, stuff like that. I'm sure once it got built, it sat outside for a little bit of time and things like that, but it's all good. Yeah, gonna coat the roof. Oh, and we're also not coating the tarp up there, but yeah, everything else. And I spent a good hour and a half pressure washing every nook, cranny, little area that I could on this machine out. Couldn't get into everything and everywhere, but yeah, coat all this down here, up and around. Same thing over here. And she's gonna be protected for many, many, many years.